Welcome to the OP11 Buggy deck breakdown. Yes, I'm finally making a Buggy deck breakdown. He's finally good enough to get one. So yeah, if you're interested in the deck, how the leader plays, how the deck plays, the starting hands, possible tech choices, the matchups for the deck, the curve for the deck, and just some sample gameplay, just stay tuned. But first, a word from our sponsors.
Kaizoku.
This video is sponsored by Nen Garden. Nen Garden is having a summer kickoff sale with prices slashed site-wide, and for a limited time get a free playmat tube with every Sun God playmat you purchase, while supplies last. Also check out their Legends and Shadows collection. Use code KAIZOKU for 8% off your order. This video is brought to you by Adakai TCG. Shop the latest in premium holographic textured custom One Piece cards. Designed for collectors, crafted to stand out. Use code KAIZOKU for 15% off your next order. This video is sponsored by gungum.gg. See Western OP11 list and Eastern OP12 list on gungum.gg. Updated daily. Be the first to see decks for new leaders as they emerge. With over 1,000 deck lists per set, gungum.gg has all the top strategies as soon as they drop. This video is sponsored by Card Market, Europe's largest online marketplace for trading card games. So OP09 Buggy A got a new starter deck that made the deck actually playable. Very good design job by Bandai, I would have to say so myself. And before we jump into things, here is some fan art that I drew of Buggy that I'd like to share. All right, thanks for looking at that. I kind of forced you to, but yeah. So Buggy, all the way back from OP09. If you don't know what he does, his leader ability reads, activate main, you can rest 5 of your Dawn cards and then trash 1 card from your hand. If you do this, you can play up to 1 cross skill type character from your hand. So it turns a lot of your 5 cost or greater cross skill type characters into a 5 cost, right? You get the discount, you have the discarded card in hand, but they printed a bunch of cards that helped mitigate that downside of having to discard a card, and a lot more ways to get to your late game too, so we'll just go over it in the deck list. So for OP09 Mr. 3 Galdino, 1 cost 2k power on play searcher for the deck, looks at the top 4 for a cross skill type card, you can add it to your hand. It's great in your early turns, like until you're at 5 down, you really kind of just dawdle around, try to fix your hand and find the pieces you need for your particular matchup. Mr. 3 is a good way to do that. Character searchers are always great in that they can attack back into your opponent's tap searchers, right? If you had an event searcher, you have to waste your leader's 5k at like a Bonnie or something. Mr. 3 gives you a nice way to pop their small characters, even like a Mr. 2, right? So at the very least, you want to run all the character searchers you can, and so we're running 4 of it, the max. 4 starter deck 25 Kabaji, 4 cost 1k power 2k counter. So one of the new additions from the starter deck, we run pretty much, I believe, every single new starter deck card because they're all really amazing. So what Kabaji can do is if there are 2 or more characters with the base cost of 5 or more, this character gains blocker and +1 cost, so he does count as a 5 cost on board. We'll get to why that is important once we get to the 10 cost Buggy, but yeah, other than that, he's a 2k counter and a blocker, right? And on your opponent's turn, he gets plus 5k power, so he's a 6k blocker and a 2k counter. That's insane, and he's used as a character on board to account for the 10 cost Buggy. It literally fits every single like requirement that you need in the deck. You'll find that that's a common theme with a lot of the cards in the deck. That's why it's so good. Like everything fits every role that you're missing. It plugs in all each other's holes. That sounds kind of messed up, but the fact that he's also a 4 cost in hand but a 5 cost on board is going to be important too, but we'll go over that in a bit as well. 4 starter deck 25 Buggy, 4 cost 1k power 1k counter, activate main, you can trash 1 card from your hand and trash this character. If your leader is Buggy, you can play up to 1 cross skill type character card with the cost of 6 or less from your hand. So this one's kind of a contentious pick. A lot of people don't like this card. I particularly like him just because I think so the only target you can cheat out with this Buggy is the 6 cost Mihawk, this one here. I think having that 6 cost Mihawk out really early, like as soon as your second turn sometimes, is really strong, right? You have a 7k blocker to mitigate a lot of damage. He becomes a potent swing as well. The downside, the arguments against him is that playing this Buggy, you're minusing so many cards in hand, right? Because not only do you have to potentially you might have used your leader ability, so that's 1 card, and then this Buggy might have been the second thing you cheated out with, like another character that cheats out another 4-drop. And then on top of that, you have to trash this Buggy and then 1 card from your hand to play out a character. So that's essentially potentially almost 3 cards out of your hand to play 2 characters, but I think it's well worth it. I think that Mihawk is an amazing early play, right? And the fact that you can fit this Buggy with another character that can cheat out a 4 cost means that you can get like 2 7ks out. So because of that, in the worst case scenario, he's a 1k counter, right? So yeah, I'm completely fine, justified in that trade-off. This Buggy, I think, is really good in some certain matchups where you can get that Mihawk out really early. Because again, if you had like a 4 or 5 cost out, Mihawk is 1 cost higher than that. He would be a little harder to remove in the really early stages of the game, where it matters the most, where you can establish your board. 4 starter deck 25 Moji, 4 cost 1k power 2k counter. If you have 2 or more characters with the base cost of 5 or more, This character gains blocker and +1 cost, and then on KO, if your leader is Buggy and you have 3 or less cards in your hand, you draw a card. So similarly to the Kabaji, it's a 4 cost in hand, 5 cost out on board, also a blocker, also a 2k counter, also a 5 cost for the 10 cost Buggy. Like, yeah, as we mentioned, it feels like every single role in the deck. He doesn't become a 6k blocker, but when he dies, you draw a card, which sometimes might be better, right? While Kabaji can block 1 bigger attack, this Moji can potentially block 2 attacks, right? You block an attack, you draw a card, you get a 2k that could potentially stop another attack. So yeah, just for that reason, and then since it's a 2k counter anyway, you want to run this. For starter deck 25, Alvida, 4 cost, 5k power, 1k counter. If you have 2 or more characters with a base cost of 5 or more, this character gains +1 cost, and then on play, if your leader is Buggy, you can draw 3 and trash 2 cards from your hand. So yeah, this is like one of the godsends added to the deck. It also fills a bunch of roles. It's a 4-drop, so it's easy to play. It's cheatable by the 8 cost Mikroc. It's a 5 cost on board, so it counts for 10 cost Buggy. It replaces itself because you're drawing 3 and discarding 2, so the card that you lost out of hand to play this Alvida out is replaced with the card that you draw with the Alvida, so you keep your hand size pretty healthy. And she's a 5k attacker too. She's not a 1k on your opponent's turn like the Kabaji is. So yeah, it just feels so many useful roles in the deck, and it's one of the premier targets to cheat out in the early game. You can even play this Alvida on your forward on turn without using your leader ability, right? So it's great. For OP09 Kabaji, so 5 cost, 5k power, 2k counter. If you have Buggy or Moji character, this character cannot be killed in battle, but just a 2k counter, it's like the best non-new 2k counter that we still run in the deck, because we still need 12. And at the end of the day, it's still a 5 cost that can count for the 10 cost Buggy, and it's a 5k that you can attack with. But yeah, I chuck this guy as a 2k counter before I chuck the other Kabaji or the Moji, for sure, because the other two can be used as blockers later on. For OP09 Dracul Mihawk, 6 cost, 7k power. So he has blocker, and then on play, draw 2 cards and trash a card from your hand. So he replaces himself because you draw 2, trash 1, and then yeah, he's a blocker. So it's great at mitigating damage, and he's a 7k base, so you can swing with them pretty liberally, and it burns a lot of cards out of your opponent's hand. And again, because we run this Buggy, I like comboing it with this Mihawk as early as I can, right? I feel like the card loss is worth it for just getting this 6 cost, 7k out. 3 OP09 Crocodile, 7 cost, 7k power, 1k counter. On play, you can play up to 1 cross skill type character card or card including Baroque works in its type with the cost of 5 or less from your hand. So this was the best card in the deck before. Now we're cutting it to 3 just because the new flood tool that we get in the starter deck is like a bajillion times better, but we still have this as like a backup, right? It's not the worst thing in the world to have extra copies of that effect. But yeah, we don't really run too many 5 costs in the deck anymore, so most of the things you're playing out are 4 costs now, which is still fine, right? They're still worth it for what they provide on board. And yeah, so it's just a way to get bodies out, because you're gonna need 4 or 5 to play your 10 cost Buggy to get the most value out of it. And don't worry, we're getting to it soon. It's all gonna make sense in case you don't know what he does. 3 Promo 84 Buggy. So people call him Shoe Buggy because he's holding a shoe. I don't remember this scene from the manga or the anime at all, so but yeah, he's a 7 cost 8k power. This character cannot attack, so you might think, what the heck's the point of him then? Well, just keep on reading. So if your leader is Buggy, all characters with the cost of 3 or 4 cannot attack. You don't run any 3 or 4 costs in your deck, so don't worry about it. Or at least the Kabaji and Moji will never attack anyway. But they become 5 costs too when you have other characters on board. But yeah, besides the point, on play, you can play up to 1 cross skill type character card with the cost of 6 or less from your hand. So just like the Crocodile, except he can hit. This is the biggest cost that you can cheat out. And the biggest cost character that you can cheat out with this is the Mihawk again, right? So just being able to freeze every 3 or 4 costs from being able to attack you, and then just also developing a 7k blocker that can replace himself on draw. Like, you can see why it's so good, right? And this card single-handedly stops a bunch of decks, namely like Bello Betty, Zoro, decks that play a bunch of 3 and 4 drops and just flood the board. None of their characters can attack. It even works against Blackbeard's Jesus Burgess too. And yeah, at worst case scenario, it's just like another 3 emergency Crocodile effects that can cheat out another body, because they all count for the 10 cost Buggy. 4 starter deck 25 Crocodile and Mihawk, Mikroc, 8 cost 7k power. On play, you draw 2 cards and trash 1 card from your hand, then play up to 1 cross skill type character card with the cost of 4 or less from your hand. Then once per turn, if your cross skill type character would be removed from the field by your opponent's effect, you may trash 1 card from your hand instead. This is single-handedly the card that saves this deck. Also fills every role and even more than that, so we'll just go over it piece by piece. So 7k attacker just on his own is great, and with the nature of our leader ability, it's essentially a 5 cost 7k, right? And then you draw 2 cards and trash a card from your hand, so it replaces himself, which is the reason why Alvida is so good, the reason why Mihawk is so good. Even this guy gets it on top of everything else he has in his card effect. Then you can play a 4 cost out. So yeah, less than the Crocodile, the 7 cost Crocodile who can cheat out a 5 cost, but we don't run most of the old OP09 5 drops anyway, right? The new ones from the starter deck are far and above, way better, so we run 4 drops anyway, so that's not a detriment at all anymore. And then the caveat, final cherry on top, is that once per turn you can prevent a removal effect. That's amazingly strong. Like, that's the reason why green decks and like Fortress Kid decks can survive and have a place in the meta, right? But we just get this for free with this Crocodile and Mihawk. At the price of just discarding a card from your hand, that's nothing at all, since we're able to draw so many cards in this deck now. And removal is the key caveat. It's not KO, it's not bounce, it's not bottom deck, it's not, what else is there? Just those 3, right? But yeah, this literally stops all of that. Any way to get your character off the board, this guy can prevent it for just 1 card in your hand. So that's why it's so strong. It even works on himself too. So yeah, just let that sink in. So before, when we were having trouble against removal, because we do need a full board of characters that are 5 cost or more to play the 10 cost Buggy, we just had a hard time against removal decks keeping that board out to get value out of Buggy. But this card, 1 card answered, like, fixes that problem, like, over and above. It more than fixes it, because despite the removal evasion, it's still a card that you would run anyway, just because it's +1 in hand and cheats out another body. So you can thank this guy for saving the deck. For OP09 Buggy, 10 cost 12k power. You guys were waiting for this, right? So on play, you can place up to one of your opponent's characters at the bottom of its owner's deck, so it bottom decks it. Then if you do not have 5 characters with the cost of 5 or more, you can place this character, or you have to place this character on the bottom of your deck. So if you have 4 other characters and you play this Buggy out as a 5th character, you'll meet that requirement of having 5 cost or more characters out. Buggy gets to stay on board and he gets to bottom deck something. If you don't meet that condition, you still get to bottom deck something, but this Buggy bottom decks himself as well. And yeah, as we mentioned, the fact that we have so many of these effects that can cheat out 2 bodies, like Crocodile Mihawk, this Buggy, this Crocodile, it's really easy to get enough bodies on your, well, any turn actually, because our leader ability makes this Buggy cost 5 down only, despite him costing 10. So yeah, once we have the board ready to get value out of him, it's such a strong effect. And then even after you bottom deck something, he's a 12k swing every turn after that. And special interaction with Blackbeard, if he uses his leader ability to make you not able to use your on plays, that means you can actually cheat this Buggy out for 5 with your leader ability still, and he doesn't have to bottom deck himself. But he doesn't get that bottom deck himself, but completely worth it. You get a 12k for 5 Dawn. For OP09 Cross Skill, it's a 1 Dawn event searcher just for consistency's sake, and we need to find our key pieces. We need to find this Crocodile and Mihawk when we need it against removal heavy decks. You want to find a Buggy against aggro decks, so this just helps. For the first 2 turns, you do have that room, that space to kind of fix your hand. And on trigger 2, you get the activate main effect, so it's not the worst thing to get off trigger 2. And then we're able to run bricks like this just because our leader ability lets us have to discard a card anyway. So any cards that we don't need, that we can't fit into our curve, we just discard it for our leader ability. For OP03 Sanji's Peel-Off, it's a 3 Dawn event. On main, you draw 2 cards. On trigger, you activate the effect. You want to get this off trigger as often as you can, so to increase the consistency of that, you would run 4 of it for the higher chance of getting it off trigger. It's also great on your like 3 Dawn turn when you have nothing to play, right? Just drawing 2 cards to prep for your 5 Dawn turn after that is a great way to prepare for the amount of cards you have to discard to start using your leader ability. But honestly, this is just like the best card to fit in the deck until you need to tech against another card. This is like the vanilla like filler, right? Out of all the filler cards, if you're not sure what the meta is going to be full of and you just want like a kind of generic list that's good into everything, Sanji's Peel-Off would be the card. But yeah, if there was like a particular leader that you're having trouble with and then you want to hard counter it, I would say that the Sanji's Peel-Off would be the first card that I would replace with the tech card option, which we'll go over in a bit too. So the deck is 8 events, 42 characters, 12 2Ks, 23 bricks, 46 cross skill type characters. Like literally every single card in the deck is a cross skilled. So let's take a look at the price of the deck with the show prices button here in my deck builder. So these cards are all released now, and for the cheapest version of each card, if you were to buy this deck outright, it's only $64. That's really inexpensive for a potentially meta deck. I would say Buggy's pretty up there now. And yeah, for your convenience, if you wanted to buy the whole deck outright, there's a TCG player mess entry button on my deck builder. If you click it, it copies the entire deck to your clipboard. On the TCG player page, you just paste it, you add to your cart, and then I think they have like a optimized card button that picks the cheapest version of the cards from each seller to make the shipping cheaper for you too. So do depend on that, on top of me giving you the cheapest card on my site as well. And then if you wanted to buy some of these individually, you can just click the shopping cart link as well. That'll take you to the cheapest version of the card. And then it goes through my affiliate link. So it's a way to support me if you guys were going to buy these cards anyway and you wanted like a passive way to just help a guy out. Yeah, feel free to use the shopping cart link from here. I would really appreciate it. It really does help the channel out. So we'll move on to the starting hands. So for starting hands, you'll of course want the Mr. 3 because it's the best play on your first turn, whether you're going first or second. Right, on your 1 Dawn turn or 3 Dawn turn or 2 or 4 Dawn turn, you really don't have much to do until you hit 5. So I like Mr. 3. I also like the Event Searcher. And then especially if you're going first on your 3 Dawn turn, Sanji's Peel Off is great. If you're going second, you could either do like Alvida to have a character out and draw cards, or you can still just play like Mr. 3s and Cross Kills and Sanji's Peel Offs. And then getting a Mihawk out early is great at staving a lot of aggression, and he's also a potent attacker that you can play out really early. As we mentioned with the 4-cost Buggy, on our 4 Dawn turn, we can play Buggy out into this Mihawk. And then of course Crocodile and Mihawk, even despite not playing against another like removal deck, I think it's great to just have him out. He's like one of the best cards to cheat out another character. So I try to aim for a Crocodile and Mihawk, at least one if I can. But definitely the other cards are much more higher priority, right? Your searchers and then your draw. So we'll move on to the tech options. So for tech options, I see people run Pudding. I think Pudding is a great addition in this current meta. A lot of decks go really big in hand size, right? You have Bonnie, Fortress Kid decks always go big in hand size to protect the kid. The Buggy Mirror, since they're drawing so many cards, you could just make them lose cards and then that'll put you ahead because you'll have the card advantage, unless they Pudding you, but just play around that. What else? It's good into a lot of the purple decks, Purple Luffy in particular, because he has to take his life to his hand to ramp, so he's going to naturally have a big hand size anyway. And Blue Purple Luffy as well, his leader ability draws him extra cards. And then like literally all the Purple Luffy decks in the meta, which are like the top meta decks right now, they run events, counter events. So if you play a Pudding, if you get lucky enough, they don't draw a new hand that contains Gungam Giant. That's a way to deny him of a 4K counter for 1 Dawn. Oh, because what she does is your opponent shuffles your hand and draws a new hand of 5. In case I didn't explain that and you didn't know. And then people run Impel Down All-Stars. I don't really like it, right? Because you're playing it for the trigger. The main effect doesn't do anything. On trigger, you draw 2 cards. Sanji's Peel Off already does that, and Sanji's Peel Off has a main effect that you could use. So you would only run Impel Down All-Stars if you're also running 4 Sanji's Peel Off, and then this would be on top of that if you really, really want to get triggers to draw you cards. Now, there's no downside to running it in that like you could always discard it for your leader ability, but there's no positive to running it. So I personally don't like it. I think 4 Sanji's Peel Off is enough already. I wouldn't recommend it, but I do see people consider it. So I just thought I should let you guys know. And then for tech, Red Rock is great if you want to kill like one big thing, because it bottom decks any costed character. Gravity Blade is great against wide boards because it bottom decks 2 6-cost or lower characters. So if you do feel like you're having trouble against Swarm decks or like Titan decks, I guess I'm coining that word, Titan deck. Yeah, you can consider these tech options. You could take out a Sanji's Peel Off or 2 to include these. So we'll move on to the curve of the deck. So here's the board state maker in my deck builder. There's a lot of features in my deck builder in case you guys are new to my channel. So we'll show you his going first and going second curve. So his going first curve is his better curve now, especially because of the starter decks. So we'll just show that off first. So 1 Dawn turn. Here's where you could play your Mr. 3, right? Draw a card. And then it passes to your 3 Dawn turn. You could peel off here, draw 2 cards. And then it's your 5 Dawn turn. So you can start using your leader ability here. So the most like guns blazing kind of start that you could go with on your 5 Dawn turn is to play like, so you leader ability. Then you could play Crocodile and Mihawk into this 4-cost Buggy, and then you pop the 4-cost Buggy to play out this Mihawk. So now you have 2 7Ks out on your 5 Dawn turn, and then your leader can swing. Passes to your 7 Dawn turn. Now here's where you want to be able to play 2 characters again to set up for your next turn if you can. And yeah, depending on your opponent, like if they were like a go wide kind of deck, you could play the Shoe Buggy out for 5 again with your leader ability. So you'd actually have 2 more Dawn here. He cheats out another character, so you could play like an Alvida who draws you cards, and that sets you up for your next turn because you have 4 characters that are 5 cost or more, because Alvida becomes a 5 cost on board. At this point you can swing 7, 7, and then even 7 with your leader. So it goes to our 9 Dawn turn, assuming everything lived. Now there's a way to play Buggy where if you're worried about your characters like getting killed when they attack, you could just not attack, right? If you really want value out of this 10 cost Buggy, here's where you have 4 characters with the cost of 5 or more on board. If you use your leader ability to play this Buggy out, on play he gets a bottom deck a character, and then he stays on board because you meet the conditions to keep him on board. You still have 4 Dawn to work with for your turn. You bottom deck your opponent's character. You have all these scary attackers. So yeah, you can just spread like, what is it, 4 7Ks this way. So that's the going first curve. And as long as you can keep a board, you can keep chaining these Buggies to keep bottom decking cards. And then we'll do his going second curve. So 2 Dawn. Here's where you could play Mr. 3. Did I delete him? Oops. Come back, Mr. 3. and then you can play the event searcher as well. And picks your hand a bit, it goes to your 4 Dawn turn. So you can play Alvida for 4 out of your hand, she draws you a card. Then leader 5 at face, 6 Dawn turn, you could start using your leader ability now. So as we mentioned before, Crocodile and Mihawk into Buggy into 6 cost Mihawk is great. Then you have your leader who can swing for 6 with your remaining Dawn, and you can swing with the Alvida pretty safely at this point because you have a blocker that can protect her, right? If you didn't have this blocker and you worry your opponent might swing like 7k at your Alvida and you don't want to counter to save her, yeah, it might make it harder to keep a board, so you could just not attack with her. That's also a valid option. But if you safely have this 7k blocker, I think it's a great idea to just swing with the Alvida. And then it passes to your 8 Dawn turn. So the awkward thing with going second is that on your 9 Dawn turn, you could have played the 10 cost Buggy and got value, but here you can't, right? You have to set up still. You only have 3 characters on board, and you don't have enough to play 2 to meet this Buggy's requirement, right? The least you could pay is 4 Dawn, so you only have 4 Dawn left, which is not enough for your leader ability. So you just kind of have to set up for one more turn. You could do Shu Buggy into Kabaji or something, and then it still gives you 3 Dawn to work with. So again, if you really want to keep this Alvida safe, you could just not attack with her. 7Ks are usually pretty easy to defend, so you swing with your 7s and then 8 with your leader. And then next turn is when you can play your Buggy. And in fact, I guess since you only need 4 characters on board when you play the Buggy, you could just swing with Alvida because you don't mind her dying. So if she dies, this is your turn here, right? You still have the board to play your 10 cost Buggy. So you'll spend 5 Dawn to play Buggy and then bottom deck something and then he stays on board. Or if you're low on cards in hand, you could just hard cast for 10. But I don't think you ever want to do that. But yeah, that's the first and second curve for Buggy. So we'll move on to the matchups. Alright, here's the matchup spread for Buggy. This is for all sim games for the past couple of days. OP11's only been on the sim for a couple of days as of the recording of this video. So these are really preliminary stats. Do keep that in mind. The date of the video matters, right? As people figure out the deck more, some of these things might change, but as it stands, has a raw win rate of 50.93%, has a weighted win rate of 50.19%, going first win rate of 55, or nearly 56, going second win rate of 44. So it does better going first because of the starter deck cards, I would say. And a sample size of 57,000 games, so if that is enough for you to feel confident, then yeah, there's that number. And then here is his matchup spread breakdown. So really good into Bella Betty, just because that Shu Buggy outright counters her entire deck, so likewise with the Zoro. Good into Blackbeard in that, as we mentioned, if they ever use their leader ability, it denies your ability to flood the board, but it also opens up the avenue of playing a 12k attacker for 5 Dawn, so they have to pick which way they want to die, basically. Does have a losing matchup in the Kobe, which is really interesting. Kobe in the Japanese OP11 meta had nothing he was good against, which is why he didn't show up in the meta, but things might be a little different this time around in the English meta, just because there's different popular leaders. Dies especially to Fortress Kid decks, both the Smoker and Bonnie. They're able to protect their 8 cost kid with the Tashigi, so your 10 cost Buggy doesn't do much to them. And then your characters are mostly 7Ks. It makes it a little harder to swing into the 8 cost kid who can defend himself pretty well. And then the blockers too are so annoying, so completely understand why this is the case. It's mainly just Tashigi preventing your 10 cost Buggy value. I would assume similarly Green Yellow Law can run Tashigi, but do they? Oh, but they run Bedge, that's why. Bedge is their version of Tashigi, and Bedge completely cancels out 10 cost Buggy. And then Green Purple Luffy, I would have to assume he just is able to demolish you before you can kill him back. And then they run Electrical Luna that does kind of freeze a lot of your characters if they're 7 cost or lower. But yeah, in his middling matchups, like he goes pretty even with Blue Purple Luffy and Yamato, and kind of loses the Black Purple Luffy, but it depends on if you're going first or second, right? Going first into these decks, you have a winning matchup. Going second into them, you lose. So I would consider that kind of flip-floppy, 50-50-ish. And then in the mirror, the Buggy mirror, you do win 55% of the time going first, so you want to go first against yourself if you can. This is what my algorithm that I wrote identified as tech cards. I think it makes sense to me, right? If you're able to play out 4 cost Buggy into a 6 cost Mihawk early, you're able to prevent a lot of free attacks, and then he's a 7k attacker as well. If you're able to play more Buggies, 10 cost Buggies than your opponent, that's also great, right? I think the mirror probably comes down to who can bottom deck each other's Buggies the most. So yeah. And also having this Crocodile and Mihawk to prevent your opponent from bottom decking your Buggy. So that was all the information that I had to share with you in my deck breakdown. I hope it's appreciated. I feel like I go a lot more in depth than a lot of other deck guides on YouTube. So yeah, I hope the effort is seen. I built all these tools out myself. I aggregated all these data myself. So just trying to make the best deck breakdowns I can. So that's my buggy deck for OP11. Early OP11. If someone figures out some tech later on, I'm sure this may change. But for now, I think this is a great starting off point. If I ever need to revisit the deck, that's always an option. So be on the lookout for that. But for now, I think this is a pretty solid list here. And again, it's not particularly teched into any leader. That's why we run the peel-offs as the best vanilla option for your local meta or for a matchup that you think you have the most trouble with. Do feel free to change some of these cards around and figure out what works better for you. But until then, yeah, let me know what you guys thought of the video. Let me know what you guys thought of the list, of the data, of my tools. Just let me know anything. I'd love some feedback, and then hang on tight because we're going to show some sample gameplay right now. All right, we have Buggy versus Red Green Smoker. Might be a hard matchup for us, but we just have to hope they don't find the pieces they need. We'll play a Mr. 3 to find Mikroc out, so we have that ready. Dude, on turn we have peel off, so I'm liking this start. Ooh, Monet. Okay, I guess we'll just peel off and draw 2. Let's attack first. I don't know if that changes anything, but let's just do it in the order that you should do it in. So they took... So 4 down turn. Okay, swing at 7. We'll take 2 down for a Rosinante. Okay, so I don't really KO, so that's fine. But it is an annoying blocker. So our first leader ability is going to be Mikroc into... We don't really have a good option, so we might just play out a Kabaji, 5k Kabaji, or blocker Kabaji. But Mikroc... Okay, ooh, we got the 4-cost Buggy. Okay, I think that's infinitely better. Let's get rid of a Mr. 3, play out 4 costs, and then we'll turn this guy into a Mihawk that we have in hand. Let's trash a card first. 2k out into Mihawk, draw 2, discard 1. Okay, and suddenly we have an amazing start. Does Monet play a factor into this matchup? Potentially. I don't think so, actually. Monet is probably better for them to... Well, it's definitely for like the green-purple matchup because they can combo it with the Ben Beckman, but... No, I guess it does kill my 7Ks too, right? Because they're the same stat line as Hanji and Pudding. Ooh, Rush Luffy. Okay. I was expecting a 5-cost Smoker. Monet gives it 2 Dawn, and then his leader can swing for like 8 as well. Because leader ability is not used yet. So 8-8. Right? Because you can put a Rested Dawn. Okay, yeah. 8-9. Okay, I can't count. So we'll take the 8-9. I probably might have to take that as well. Oh, 6 only. Okay, I can deal with that. We'll give you a 2k. Then he develops... I don't want to see Tashigi. If he plays a Tashigi, I cannot get through his 8-cost kid. This matchup literally depends on him fighting Tashigi or not. And me being able to remove it. Do I have a way to remove it? I don't. Maybe I need to tech that in. Oh, but they play Sanji. Okay, maybe I'm good. So their Monet is a 4k because of leader ability. Do I want to throw 6 at it? I feel like I want to throw bigger Dawn onto a bigger character. So we throw 5. If they use a 2k, I think we're fine with that. Okay, they do counter. They counter with the Tashigi. Don't you know you need that? We swing 8 at Luffy. I get him to use a Rosinante blocker if possible. Just clear the way for us to reach his 8-cost kid. And then we'll do Mihawk 8. Let's guarantee the kill on Monet. Right, because he can Ben Beckman next turn. I don't want that. And then we'll leader ability the... I don't really need Shubuggy, do I? Or no, let's play him out. Because then the Sanji is useless on board. Let's get rid of non-counter. And then the lowest counter. And we'll pass. Okay, we're perfectly set up for a 10-cost Buggy next turn. Only Luffy can attack, but like I have 7k bodies on board and I have 8k counter in hand. So I feel pretty confident that they're going to live. Oh, Dragon. Okay, maybe I'm not as confident anymore. Do I have the math here? Okay, 6 in my face? Oh, okay. That simplifies a lot of the math. But yeah, I do have to counter this. I get a lucky peel off trigger. Okay, 9. If I took the 7, the 9, I can defend. Okay. And then 9 from Smoker still, right? Ooh, at my character. Okay, I should defend that. That's a 2 and 1. And then we'll keep the emoji. Because we have a low hand size, we can draw cards. Let's ping him a bit. So we'll do... Oh wait, does he have any triggers that kill stuff? I should kill characters instead of attacking his face first. Okay, Luffy died. Let's do 5 at leader. I don't know if he's gonna take... Oh, he took... Okay, so... I was expecting him to counter, but... 7 at leader. He counters this. Okay, so let's just swing 8 with Mihawk, and then we'll play the Buggy out. And then we'll play Buggy. Honestly, I should have played the Buggy out first, right? Because they run Mole Gun and Honesty Impact sometimes, which could kill my board. So that was really callous of me. Don't be like me. Okay, ACOS Kid out without a Tashigi in sight. Could cheat one out with the ACOS Kid's ability though. That would definitely... Oh, play the Virgo out. Okay, so I think because of that, we might have it here. 7 in our face we'll gladly take. No blocker and no Tashigi, so we'll just swing 12 at Kid. You might have to counter for it actually though. Okay, Radical Beam in at 2k. Let's throw a 14 at him. Just to make sure he dies for sure. So this is every single card in his hand not able to save him, and then we'll just finish with a 10. If not enough, we have leader and Alvida, and it's enough. Okay. Yeah, I think he shouldn't have gotten rid of his blockers as early. And he does run Honesty Impact, so that might have been bad for me. It would have blown up in my face, but luckily we got lucky. Luckily. Okay, we have Buggy versus Piss Kid. Let's keep it. Right, we're going second. So Alvida into Mikroc. Sounds good to me. Okay, we'll pass. We have nothing to play anyway. He didn't play anything either. No Luffy searchers. That's good. He picked first though, and he can't Mihawk. Hawkins this turn. There's too many Hawk characters in this game. So we'll take the 8, we'll throw 5 and play Alvida. Okay, they counter 1. I guess they have a second Hawkins. I don't need this many peel-offs, do I? Let's get rid of him. I don't think I have the room to play him anymore. Okay, what do you do for 5? Udoosh? Or just Dawn Leader and Mihawk? Hawkins? Mihawkins. I'll just say that so I'm right no matter which character it is. Okay, Dawn Leader. 6 at me, we'll just take that. Yeah, Hawkins, right? Yup. Now, do I want to go to 2 life? I think I don't care. So let's swing 6. If he blocks with the Hawkins, maybe my Alvida is safe. Because I can Mikroc into 4 Buggy into 6 Mihawk. Yeah, he blocks with it. So my Alvida is safe. We'll just swing 5 with her. They took. Okay, so we know they have a Buggy in hand, which is not good for us. Let's play out Mikroc into 4 Bug into 6 Hawk. Let's discard that Kabaji for 6 Hawk and then discard Shubuggy. Because yeah, they're not going to play any 3 or 4 drops at this point anymore. Right, their deck revolves around 8 cost Kid and 7 cost Law. And they're already at 7 Dawn, so we can protect our Alvida unless they don't develop a big character and try to kill Alvida. But I do have a 7k blocker. You see where it's great to have out? And if they do play like something weird like Damned Punk or Nami to pop a 5-drop, we can protect it with our Mikroc. Okay, there's a Nami. Wow. We could discard Peel Off to save Alvida here. And they dropped a 2k just for me to drop my Peel Off. Is that worth it? Maybe. Then they got 7, I can block counter 1. Oh, just 5? Okay, I just block for Fari. Then he's going to play the Bedge out that he has. We know he has it. He does have it. Okay, so I can't bottom deck as easily late game. I don't even have the Buggy in my hand though, so not going to depend on that. Let's just build a better board. Ooh, okay, let's take it. Maybe we can get him to block with the Bedge. That would be nice. So, Alvida, I want to swing with Mihawk. So maybe I don't attack. Let's just attack. I'm pretty sure I can defend. They counter 1. Okay, 7 at leader. I guess I could leave my Mihawk up too. They took. Okay, Croc Hawk. Mihawk, dang it. You guys got me. I'm having like a Twitter argument to pick the nickname for this guy. Everyone likes Croc Hawk. I like Mikroc, but I accidentally used my least favorite nickname for him. Oh, he blocked. Okay, that's good. Okay, well, let's cheat out Another Mikroc into a blocker. We can save our Alvida that way. Moji. Actually, Kawaji would have been better because he's a 6k blocker, right? I forgot. Moji, you need 3 cards in your hand or less to draw a card. I don't got that. I got too much. Let's see. If he plays like a 7 law, it makes... He can do like a 6 and a 7. Oh, he plays a badge. Okay, so he can still do 7 law and do 5-6. I hate this badge. It cancels out my best card in my deck at handling his best cards in his deck. Oh, he played a X-Drake. That lets you rest a 4-drop, but I don't have a 4-drop on board. It's technically a 5-cost on board, so maybe he wasted that. Or maybe he just wanted a blocker on board, because X-Drake can still be a blocker for him with his leader ability, so no big deal. Okay, 5 at Alvida. Oh, 6 at Alvida. I think we will let her die. Yeah, because we have enough for 10 Buggy anyway. He's got 8k. 8k at our Mikroc. I can counter 2k. Europe. Or it might be at our face. If it's at our face, we just block counter 2 as well. Yeah, at our face, we'll block counter 2. Mihawk is so good to have out early. Okay, and he turns the X-Drake into a blocker. We know he's going to draw into an X-Drake. Let's kill Nami. And then we'll peel off Mr. 3. Find me something better. Nope. Guess we'll just take Mikroc. Let's take the Buggy because he's 1k counter at the very least. And we'll do 7 leader. I guess we'll just play out a Kabaji or something. I don't know if I want to waste a 10 Buggy on the bench. That's the thing. Because normally that would be what I would play this turn, but I didn't feel like it was worth it. If he does play like a law, I could I just force him to put it in top of their life, right? So not only do I stall them for a turn, I get rid of their 9k blocker on board. And then if I'm going for lethal, it's a non-counter card in his hand, right? Okay, he blocks with the X-Drake. Mihawk 7. Yeah, I think I like the sound of that. So yeah, if you have the law, play it. You have the kid, play it. I'll give it back to you in life. Right, it turns our Buggy into a 8-cost Katakuri in a sense. Or a 9 mom, which is a good card anyway. So play Kabaji to have a 6k blocker. Okay, Luffy picks up a law. Okay, so they heal with it, and then we're gonna heal him again with the other law. Okay, so he swings 8, but just block with Moji. And then he makes law into a blocker. Yeah, we'll just play out this Buggy, make him heal with it. That's a non-counter card in life. And we have a 12k to swing next turn. It sounds worth it to me. And then we'll do Mikroc 7. And then I could do, what, 7, 7, 8, 9? That sounds good. Maybe we can get him down to like 1 life. Okay, he took it. We know he has that law in hand. So if he didn't have enough for his 7, he definitely still doesn't have enough for his 7, right? I guess he could have just taken it for fun. Oh, he took it again. Okay, so we know he has 1k counter, so an 8 should go through too. That's assuming he's taking because he has no counter, but he could just be taking just to have cards in hand. He blocks. Okay, so this 9 should go through then, right? That kind of gives us a clue about what's in his hand as well. Okay, he took it. Okay, yeah. I think it is, as we surmise, he does not have any more than 3k counter. Does play the law, lets him heal, but now he's got 1 life only and no other place for the turn. So this game should be wrapped up shortly, I hope. He's got another badge. Okay, that's annoying. I might still have enough attacks though. So 7 out of 7 I can counter easily. 7 at my face, I might just take it. 7 at my face. I can block counter 2 actually. So let's block counter 2 actually. And then try to go for game here. If he would pass his turn. If he would make his law blocker. Okay, yeah. So let's throw a 7 to start. I have a feeling he doesn't have enough counter for even this. Okay, he blocks. Let's throw a 9 with Mikroc. If he takes this, I swing Buggy 12 and then leader 13. And then if that's not enough, I still have the Mihawk to swing 7. He took it. Okay. Let's do 11 with leader. And then we'll do 9, 12. That might be a better spread. Just want to force him to use that blocker. Yep. Okay, I just do 14 Buggy. That's better. If he blocks. Should be game. If not, I have a 7 still. How do I have like 6 minutes on this guy? Okay, we won. Ooh, yeah, a lot of non-counter. He had 4K at least. We have Buggy versus Blue Yellow Nami. Okay, so we have a pretty good start and we're going first too. So let's take this Alvida here. Okay, put down on leader just in case they need a leader ability. We'll peel off and swing 5. Maybe they do discard a non-counter card. Oh, he took it. Okay. You can take it. You're gonna swing like 7 at me. I'll take the draw card. Ooh, Nojiko. Wait, why though? I have nothing on board. 7 will take. I guess he just needs less than 7 cards in hand. That's why they play Nojiko out. Just to draw a card, cycle it. They have ways to bounce it back to hand too. Okay, so they leader ability to counter. We will play out 7 Croc into Alvida. Let's get rid of Peel Off and 4 Buggy. Or let's get rid of Mr. 3. We might look into a 6 cost Mihawk at some point. So I'm out of characters that cheat out other characters. Okay, he already lets them take a life. Put it back and they get the draw after that. Okay, so it counts after you put the life back. Ooh, Zeus out to pop my Alvida. Dang, I wish I had a Mikroc to save her. I'm a little bricked, aren't I? 6 of us will counter 2. Yeah, I need... Okay, so I can't play 2 things this turn. Mr. 3, find us something? Like, Shoe Buggy is our best bet. So I guess we have to take it. Okay, so we're gonna Shoe Buggy. 6 at face. Shoe Buggy into Alvida. Counter 2. Okay, 7 at face. Yeah, the nice thing is that we run a lot of 7s, so their leader ability isn't as impactful at stopping us. Slave Arrow. What does that do? Counter 4K and they bounce at 2 costs. Ooh, okay, so they have a bunch of 2Ks on board they can reuse. That's pretty good. So I will cheat out Shoe Buggy into Alvida, and we get the Mihawk after discarding the 4 cost Buggy. Oh well. Let's get rid of Alvida and 2K. Yes, because I think I want to Buggy into Mihawk if I can. Then I can leader ability to play the Buggy as well, the 10 cost. Ooh, the Karos my Alvida back to hand. Okay, so I can't. If I had a Mikroc from the first turn that I could play it out, none of this would have been a problem right now. But unfortunately, I still don't have one. Do not still have one. We could just hardcast 2 4-drops from our hand, maybe. We'll throw a 7. I do have to worry about pudding. I don't want to get pudding, so I should try to get rid of as many cards in my hand as I can. So we'll do 7 Croc into Buggy and then into Mihawk. Okay, let's discard that Kabaji. We'll just throw 9 with leader, because Shoe Buggy can't attack anyway. Yeah, take a 9. Took a 9. Okay, we'll pass. Got onto 1 life. We have the board for 10 cost Buggy next turn. 9 at Croc. We will counter 4. Really wish I had a Mikroc to make this a lot more guaranteed. Oh, 8 cost Katakuri. Okay, that does... Yeah, stop me. Dang it. A single Mikroc would have completely solved this issue for me, and I still don't have it. Okay, we'll play Moj. Then I can still 10 cost Buggy, so at least I can still do that. 5 at lead. And I have Dawn for the cross guild event as well. Okay, got him to use leader ability. We can throw these 7s. It's still a 1 card answer. Counter 1. Okay, another 7. Counter 2. Okay, we'll cross guild. Let's take second 10 cost Buggy. Then we'll play out Moj. Then we'll leader ability out Buggy. Do I get rid of the Buggy or 2K? I want to play 2 Buggy, so maybe I get rid of the 2K. But that would mean no counter in hand. Let's risk it. Get rid of Kairos, who has a bigger stat line. Actually, I can't even play the second Buggy because he can kill both my Crocs, right? Depending on what he plays. I don't know what Nami's usually play 8. We'll block with Moji and draw a card. No counter. Dang, if that was counter though, would have been clutch. 6 at our face. Oh, okay, we'll take. And he's gonna play a 9 drop. Still no counter in my hand. He didn't know that though. He has to account that I have a 2k, but I don't. I wish though. Another 8 Katakuri. Okay, that's annoying. So I can't 10 cost Buggy again. I should have just kept the 2k. I can discard my entire hand to the Buggy here, but I don't think I wanna. Let's just throw 12 at the kata. That should kill for sure, right? 12 at face, right? Because if they take it, I just go for game. 15. Yeah, I threaten lethal. I forgot about that part. So if he does another slave arrow, that's 4k, and then he needs 4k on top of that, which is 4 cards in hand. But he can bounce a 2k back, that's the thing. So it probably isn't too hard for him to slave arrow and counter out of this. Okay, so leader ability plus slave arrow plus the 2k Zeus that they just bounce back to hand. That's pretty damn good. Huh. Can I split and go for game? I don't die on the clapback, do I? But just in case, play out Mihawk. Just in case. Just in case. To get some counter in our hand. Then we'll throw 9 with leader. Or 11 with Croc. 9 with leader. And we'll leave our Croc standing so their Katakuri can't attack into it. The only valid target they have is a 12k, which would be like a big dawn commitment for them. So I think this is the perfect setup to go for game next turn. Right, because if I reset my Crocodile, he just counters 1k, and then if he puts a dawn on either Katakuri, that's 2 cards in my hand to defend it. 6 in my face, we'll counter 2. I still don't think you're going to reach the Buggy. Okay, 8 at her face, we'll take. They draw a card as well. 8 at our face, I guess we'll have to take. Because I have literally 1k counter in hand. 2k actually. Oh, Red Rock, they Red Rocked my Buggy. If you don't play a blocker, I have game. No blocker. Do I go like 17? What if that doesn't go through though? He has 3 down up. Let's throw a 7. Get him to use the leader ability. And a 1k. Okay. Now I feel a little better. Let's split it though, just in case, right? Events make it kind of hard to do math. We could do like 9 or 11. Let's do 9. Get him the slave arrow, and then we'll do the remaining on leader. He does slave arrow and bounce a 2k back to hand. No, Noji goes a 1k. Okay, 13. Hopefully it's enough. If not, I lose. It was enough? It was enough. Okay. Whew. Buggy versus blue-purple Luffy. Okay, we keep getting these amazing starts. Cross-skilled into Pilaf. And probably our 10 cost Buggy is going to be really useful later on. Right, he has literally no way to interact with our board. Okay, we will cross-skilled. I guess they do run like God Thread, but I have Mikroc now, so I'm good. Good to protect my board. He does still get the ramp though, I believe. So we'll peel off here. Not able to attack his face. That is okay. So he could either play Mr. 2 or Zorodro, which are the common ones. Okay, 3 down means Zorodro. Okay, so first leader ability should be a Mikroc because God Threat might be coming. Let's discard. Let's discard second 7 Croc and Mikroc out and play out Kabach or Blocker. So I can't prevent the Zorodro from ramping, but I can prevent my Kabaji from dying. 6 with Zorodro. We can counter 2. Leader's probably gonna throw a 7. Right, it's always like 6, 7. Okay, God Thread. Let's see if he does ramp. I'm pretty sure he does. We'll discard Mr. 3 here to save our Kabaj. Yeah, he got the Dawn. 7, we'll take that. If I shoot Buggy, the Zorodro does nothing, but I don't think I care if he's on the board at this point. Swing 5 at him, get him to use a 2k to save him. No, he doesn't. Okay, we will leader ability. Or I can just hard cast Shoe Buggy. Let's swing 7 first. And then Shoe Buggy into Mihawk. Hard casted. Have more cards in hand. Yeah, I like that. And then we'll discard blocker, non-counter, and then we can 10 cost Buggy next turn. Hopefully he doesn't Sanji into something. If he plays just one thing, he'll have nothing on board. If he plays Sanji into something, he'll have Sanji. Or whatever one I don't bottom deck. Oh, he runs the 2k vanilla. I don't remember him looking like that on Whole Cake Island, but could be misremembering. 7 at Mikroc. That's an easy 1k or 2k. In case I want to draw later with Alvida. Okay, Sanji into Katakuri. At least not 9-mom. 9-mom would have put one of my characters into life. So let's cheat out the Buggy to get rid of the Katakuri blocker. Buggy, bottom deck. But yeah, he does still get the Sanji here. And we'll do 8 and then 8 with leader. Do I swing with the Mihawk for 7? I might as well, right? He took the 8. 8 with the leader. Counters 3. Okay, and then we'll swing 7 with Mihawk. Counters 2 1Ks. Okay. It's a good sign. We got him the 3 cards in hand. He runs Sangoro. What the heck? Is it a Soba Mask kind of deck? Oh, Red Rock. Okay, let's Mikroc save. Save our 10 cost Buggy. Oh, he just concedes. Yeah, I would imagine Buggy's pretty good into blue purple if they're unable to like deal with your board like that. Okay, bye.
Card D Kaizoku.